I'm Shelby, and if you're lucky, you just got a bouquet of flowers. Maybe something like this. This is one of my Mother's Day bouquets. And let's talk about wrapped bouquets and how to take them from being just a pretty wrapped bouquet, which, while this is gorgeous, you can't keep it like this forever because it needs water to live. So we're going to talk about how to take this and put it into a vase and make it look fabulous. So you've got a bouquet of flowers. First, we're going to take off all this really beautiful wrapping. Everybody does a little bit different, but I'm guessing you're going to kind of have something that looks a little bit like this. Squeezed together just a little bit. Probably still rubber band of some sort. Mine, this one doesn't, but mine typically have a sponge wrap. It's an eco-friendly wrap that keeps water in it, keeps the blooms hydrated. I like mine to be wrapped because then you can haul around, have it in your car for an hour, not on a hot day. But if the temperature is appropriate, it can stay in the car for a little bit, it can come around with you, you don't have to carry a bucket or a vase around with you. But once you get it home, I do recommend putting it in water. So to do that, a couple different ways we can go about arranging these flowers. For one, give all your stems a fresh trim, either in the rubber band. I mean, if you love the texture and the way this looks, you don't have to unrubber band it, although they might like a little bit of breathing room, but really you don't have to do much. Trim off maybe the first inch or so of each of the stems. I recommend doing it on an angle. You may have a cool picture like this or a vase that's got a mouth like this. I mean, some people may go, voila, I'm done. Not personally my style, but obviously an option. So I'm going to sort my flowers out by variety and what I have. Start with your bulkier items. So these may not say bulkier, but they're actually big clumps of flowers. So make sure that any greenery is stripped off to where they would be beneath the water level. And I'm calling these kind of a bulkier filler type item because to me, they are. Because that's what they were put in there. They're gonna take up space. They're not the focal. They're not the thing I want to see first off. They're cute though. They're not gonna be the star of the show. So I'm okay if they get covered just a little bit. Same with any big pieces of greenery. I don't use a ton in my arrangements, but there's some in there. Again, stripping off any greens in the base. And I haven't put any tape or chicken wire or anything in this vase. I'm simply designing around the edge at the moment. And as the stems, they're gonna kind of, one go this way, one this way, and it's gonna kind of weave and create something like this. But you could absolutely put some waterproof tape and make grid lines to help protect that, or even throw a little chicken wire in a vase like this. So next I'm going to use some of my bigger blooms. In these particular bouquets, I've got a couple different colors of carnations here, and these are going to be some of my bigger blooms. These are more antique varieties. This is a Brut Champagne carnation. Remember, you watched me cut all these stems. My bouquet was already varied in height. So the stems, when I cut them all the same at the bottom, they all stayed that very height. But if not, you may need to trim them so that you've got one long, one short. That's how I design, one long, one short. So I'm never gonna put two that are the same height right next to each other. like to have pieces that pop up here, like here. Create interesting focal pieces. Some of these daffodils are a little bit sad. Their stems are hollow. And I wrapped this bouquet several days ago, so this is not as fresh as anybody would be getting from the flower shop from me. This acanthus. Let's see where we're gonna work him in. So I have been taught that the principles of design say that your vase should be, what's it? Well, it's 1/3, 1/3, 2/3 should be your proportions. So some people take that to say your flowers should only be 1/3 of the height of your vase. I like to reverse that. My personal preference is to do your vase is 1/3, so you should have that height and that height. When it's a more of a garden style arrangement, those principles don't come off, but I do like to at least have half of the height. So I've got half vase, half flowers. So I'm gonna get some taller stuff up here. I do wanna make sure that the base of these flowers are in the water, but the entire thing does not need to be submerged. And because we've created that grid, he's gonna just sit there and not fall all the way down in. Another way to do this is to use a shorter vase, which if you follow me on Instagram and in my stuff, you'll see that is typically what I do. But this is more of a kitchen counter, farmhouse table style arrangement, so we're going with that. Let's talk tulips. These guys have a mind of their own. They do whatever they want. And they curl. So we're just gonna work with it, we're not gonna fight it. Make sure he's all the way in the water. Take off his greens and stick him in. These, get rid of them. Those aren't pretty leaves, we don't need those in there. Again, this guy wants to droop, let him. Looking kind of cute. I'm letting this moment of tulips kind of have their drapey moment, balance with the handle over here on this side, but I still want to do something over here. And I have left myself with these long sweet peas. So I'm going to let them kind of counterbalance this side of the arrangement. And have their moment here. I've got just a couple stems of this feverfew left to throw in here, because waste not. And then I have created the entire wrapped bouquet in a vase. It's okay to go back and finesse it a little bit. Whoops, one last little sweet pea. He's a little guy, we're just gonna stick him there. Alright, so to give your flowers as much life as possible, I recommend changing the water daily. If your bouquet comes with flower food, make sure that first drink has the flower food in it, and you can continue adding to the water on a daily basis. They like clean water and they're thirsty, and remember, water levels will go down. So especially if you know you've got stems that aren't, they're only down this far as opposed to here, make sure your water's not that high. And you can pluck pieces, fading flowers out of there as they fade, and just keep adding to. If you're lucky enough to have a little greenery outside, add to it as old things fade away, and you can keep a bouquet lasting for a really long time. So, hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions, let me know.